this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here with my collections papers. I had a request from somebody. Well, not really a request. Well, yes, a request. But she was asking when I would be creating some more full kits again. Because she said that she struggles with the background papers only. You know, in the kind of how to make things from them. So I thought that I would come along and make a video, or maybe a couple of videos, just showing some of the things that you could possibly do with the background pages kits, you know, whereby you might not need a full kit. Obviously, I will still be making kits in the future. At the moment, I've got quite a few requests for different themes for the background pages. So that's why I've been kind of, you know, busy doing those really. But yeah, I mean, obviously in the future, I will be kind of making some more kits. But at the moment, I'm kind of trying to get on top of all the lovely ideas and suggestions for the background papers. So yeah, what have I got? So I grabbed in a whole bundle of the background papers. So I've got here all sorts. So I've got some from the Shabby Chic collection. I've got some from the Fantasy Doors. I've got some from the Vivid Doors collection. I've got some from the French Papers collection. Oops, that is not a background page, but it is on that side. So I've got some from the Lace, all sorts of different kits. Now, I also then have mucked about with some different paper types and things. So this is where hopefully it's going to kind of like give you some ideas and things if you're struggling for how to use them. And this doesn't just obviously go for my background collections. It may go for, like, you know, if you've bought, say, a 12 by 12 paper pad and that's all that you've got, hopefully these ideas will kind of translate to, you know, across the board papers. They're not going to only be relevant for my papers. But what I have done, I have printed off some on a variety of different ways, or in a variety of different ways. So for instance, this is the William Morris collection, and as you can see, I've printed 2 to a page. Now this is on thicker paper, so this I think is 230 GSM, and this is photo quality paper, so it's thicker than your normal paper. I printed some on transparency film, again, so that we've got some different looks and different things that we can play with using the transparency. And these are from the Victorian London kind of collection papers. I've printed those same images on this, which is photo paper, but it's glossy photo paper. Just again, so that we can get lots of different looks. I've printed the same page again on vellum. So, well, tracing paper, so that we've got, you know, more different looks again. I've got some of my damask papers there. As you can see, it's kind of been crumpled in the printer. I've got some more William Morris papers, again, printed 2 to a page, but these are just on, you know, thinner paper. And then I've got a new collection, which is the Birds collection. And I have printed that 2 to a page as well. So hopefully we can kind of, you know, incorporate that. And that might be as much as I did. Oh no, we're still going. Yep, I forgot what I did there. I've printed the French collection papers as well, 2 to a page, so you've got kind of smaller bits there. So I mean, some of these papers obviously are going to lend themselves better to you know, what I would call kind of topper pieces. And some would lend themselves better to background pieces, but hopefully we're going to get some ideas here. And then this again is the London collection papers, Victorian London collection papers, and I've printed this 4 background pages to a page. So you've got much smaller images, so they would be just ideal for making pockets and things like that. So hopefully we've got, you know, a really good range of things there. And then obviously a ton of different papers here from all the different background collections. So yeah, we can just kind of get playing and experimenting. So what I have done, I have bound a, you know, what's going to be my journal. And all I've done is bound, this is craft coloured paper and it is thicker. So this again is, I think, 250 GSM. So I've done my usual configuration, which is 2 thick, 3 thin, 2 thick and 3 thin and 1 thick. So I've done it in the usual way. Now, obviously, as you can see, I've bound this, but I have not got a cover so far. So this will have to be, you know, elasticated in or something like that. But I just wanted to come along and obviously get making some bits for the journal first, and then we will worry about the cover later. So let's have a look and see what pieces that we've got. So if I take, for instance, here, so I'm just going to take these, which are printed on the thicker, you know, the thicker quality paper. And I've also got some of my lace, which is also printed on the thicker quality paper, and also some of the shabby chic. So hopefully we're going to kind of really get a good kind of eclectic collection going, and, you know, mix the papers up a lot, because I mean, hopefully the papers are quite versatile in that you can mix them up a lot. And hopefully we're going to kind of like see some of the ways that we can do that through this, you know, this video, or maybe a couple of videos. We'll have to kind of see how we get on, really. So just pulling out the thicker pieces first of all, so the ones that are on thicker pages. So I think that might be it for the thicker pages. So yeah, and obviously, like I say, these are going to be, you know, suggested topper pieces. So I'll just put those to one side. Now, obviously, I've got a range of different papers here and a range of different colours. And weirdly, this is just coincidental, that they just happen to be a lot of purples. I have got this one with the blues, but yeah, on the whole, they seem to be kind of purples. That was just pure, you know, pure fluke. It wasn't kind of planned like that or anything. It was just, that's how it's panned out. So let's get kind of making some bits and pieces. So if we wanted to kind of make quite a kind of basic journal, what we could do, we could start by making some just corner pockets and things. Now, personally, I quite like just the torn look, and I'm not saying that that's for everybody, but that's just something that I quite like. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just take a section of this paper. I'm going to just cut it down like this. Okay, and across here. Whoops. Now this will probably need trimming. I suspect that I've done this, you know, too big or, you know, too small or whatever. It's, you know, it's doubtful that it's the right size is what I'm trying to say. And then I'm going to just tear to make a couple of corner pockets, okay? So I just need to decide which way I want these to go. So if I want that at the top or if I want it at the bottom. I could alternatively have it, you know, on an inside page. Obviously, I haven't started working in this yet, so it's kind of like still, what's the word, you know, yeah, wanting to kind of curve around and things. So I tend to jump around a journal when I'm making one, so I'm going to just kind of flick around and see where I fancy having this. So I might just have it here. So all I'm going to do is take my background page and just tear that across like that. Okay, so, and this is from the lace collection, which is the purples, the pinks and purples, or it might just be purples, I can't remember, I'm afraid. So that would be a little corner tuck there. Then I've obviously got this section left, which I will tear the other way, so to just get rid of that kind of inner core that we can see there from the paper. You don't have to, but I'm just not that keen on having that white edge. Obviously, you can see my printer just mucked up the borderless printing slightly, so I'm just going to trim that down the bottom. And then I've got another corner pocket that I can use somewhere else. So, for instance, here. Okay, so they're my background, they're my pockets straight away, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to glue them straight in. So, you know, we are making a very basic journal here. We are not kind of doing anything elaborate. We're just kind of making basic pieces using the background collection pages. And as I say, I'm not necessarily saying you have to use my background pages. I'm saying any background pages. So, you know, for instance, when I first started you know, doing junk journals and things, you know, I didn't have all the ephemera pieces and things that I have got now. I mean, obviously my collection's grown substantially over time. You know, essentially all that I did have really was my 12 by 12 papers. I mean, obviously I had scrapbooking supplies, but they tended to be maybe like toppers for cards and things like that, you know, I don't know, birthday cakes or ladies with dresses, and, you know, I'm not meaning vintage, I mean like kind of modern looking kind of dresses and handbags and things like that. So they weren't necessarily suitable for using in my journals. I'm just going to weigh that down like that so it's not kind of keep flicking up. They weren't necessarily you know, suitable for using in journals. So a lot of it was kind of, what's the word? You know, improvisation. So using just the 12 by 12 paper packs and then forming, you know, pockets and getting decorations and things like that from the pockets, from the papers. So that's all we're doing here, is we're doing exactly the same concept. We are taking just purely background pages and then we are building ephemera from the background pages. So, you know, hopefully this is going to be useful for somebody. Yeah, hopefully useful to the lady who requested it. Right, now I've got this section here. Now, as you can see, I've printed other things on the back of here. So, of course, that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm, you know, using this for not folded pieces, but, you know, very much flat kind of pieces on the page, because, of course, otherwise I'm going to have the hearts showing on the back. So this one here, I'm just going to tear this down like that. Okay. And we can have just a pocket down the edge of this page. So, you know, we couldn't get any more basic than we're doing here. You know, we are using literally the most, or not using, but, you know, making the most basic of pockets and tucks and things like that. But I mean, hopefully it's going to turn out like a really, really pretty journal, which again goes to show, you know, you don't have to get really elaborate. And I think sometimes what happens is, you know, there's a tendency to like overcomplicate things, and that's not me trying to be clever. That's me saying, I think what happens is we watch all these wonderful videos and then we want to recreate those things, and sometimes simple is best. You know, sometimes the same thing or very similar can be achieved just using, you know, very, very, very basic methods. So that's all that we're doing here, is we're using the most basic of methods. So I've got this section here left. So all I'm going to do is exactly the same here, is just create something with this. So we could do like a decorative edge strip, or we could do another pocket, we could do a belly band. Obviously, I do need to make sure that it's something that's, you know, stuck down, because I've got this rubbish on the back. So I don't want to obviously use or make anything that's going to have to be double-sided. So I think what I will do is, yeah, I think what I will do is just tear this down, and I will tear it down on either side just because we've got that white core that we had just now. So just want to get rid of that, because I don't personally think that looks great, but you know, each to their own, and you may not mind that. So yeah, just tear that down like that. So okie dokie. Right, now obviously I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to do with this. I may double it up and have this as a sort of decorative piece. I may use it like a belly band, I'm not sure. So I'm not going to actually glue this down yet. I'm going to just leave it in here while we decide. So I've got some basic pieces put down. Then I've just got this section, which rather than have just a scrap laying around, I'm just going to use this right now. So just cut this down and just form like the most basic pockets ever from this. Okay. So, oh gosh, I'm not sure whether I've done that very straight, but so we could have that there, to be honest. I mean, that looks gorgeous, doesn't it? So yeah, I'm going to just glue that straight down. Okay. Oops, like that. Okie dokie. So I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope you are doing some crafting, having a nice time. Do share below, and I know I say this all the time, but do share what you're working on, just because it's very inspirational to hear what other people are working on. You know, if you're having a missing mojo moment, which we do all have, don't we, then it's really just handy to hear what other people are working on, and then it can really spark ideas and inspiration for other people. So don't be shy, do share what you're working on. So this one now I might move further back into the construction of the journal, only because obviously we might want to have some more purple going through. I don't know, it's not been glued in, so I may move it back yet. We'll just kind of play it by ear. Okay, so I'm just going to then take another one of the thick pages, which I've got this from the Shabby Chic collection. Now this is plain on the back. So what I could do is coffee dye the back of this. I probably won't even coffee dye the front, and make some foldy type pieces. You know, it's not essential, but yeah, I might do that. I'm just having a quick look to see what else I've got that was the thick papers. Ah, yes. Ah, yeah. So I had the brown lace as well, which I really do love. Which ones do I want? That's the question. Oh, and I love the brown. I'm just going to pull that purple side bit in and just see what that would look like if we kind of doubled that up anywhere. So for instance, if we were to have that here layered up onto that brown, I mean, that looks very nice, doesn't it? So perhaps I think actually I'm going to do that. So all I'm going to do is just glue this down top and bottom. So I'm making like a belly band on top of a belly band. So top and bottom glued onto here like that. And this is printed on thicker paper. I must just quickly stress that. I know I did say it before, but I'm just kind of reiterating it in case it got lost there, you know, in translation or anything. So yeah, we've got that now. And then I'm just going to tear this down. Now it's in position. And we don't need tons of that brown showing, but just like a little bit, so that we've got, you know, got decorative detail going on there. So like that. Let me just get rid of those bits of glue. And I've used Fabri-Tac for all of this. That's just the glue that happened to be at, you know, at the side of my hand. So you could use any glue for all the things that we're doing, you know, super basic stuff that we're doing here. Okay, so yeah, let's just take that like that. Okay. So yeah, now I still haven't decided, like I said, whether I want to put this in here or whether I want to put it somewhere else. So I'm just still going to leave that free, you know, moving about in the book just while I ponder how I want to have it. So don't want to quite commit to it yet. So with the brown lace, I'm thinking, again, this has not been coffee dyed, so I could make some coffee dyed pieces. Also, I could do like make a pocket. I mean, this is just me being lazy now, really, because I'm thinking, oh, if I make a pocket, I don't have to coffee dye the back. So yeah, just like really, really, really lazy. Really just being super lazy. Yeah, do we want to have that? Or we've got this one. No, I'm going to use this, I think. Let me just check the... oh, I mean, that's really nice too. Yeah, these are the William Morris papers, and I mean, I love this purple, I have to say, which is weird because I'm not really a purple person. But I mean, I'm loving this purple lace, and I'm loving these purples in the William Morris. But normally purple wouldn't really be a colour that I particularly go for, but it's just looking really pretty, isn't it? Oh, I can't decide now. Oh, this is a really tough decision. Unless I take it here, because I'm thinking I may want to cut this portion out, this little frame. So perhaps what I should do is, oh, sorry, lost my glasses there, is cut that frame out now. So this again demonstrating, you know, if you are just using background pages, if you've got elements like this in the backgrounds, you could cut these pieces out to use. So the lady who asked, you know, was I making any more kits? And like I say, I will be making more kits, but these types of elements can all be cut out, and obviously this is printed full size, you know, on an A4 sheet of paper. If I'd printed this 2 to a page or 4 to a page or whatever, obviously you would have a smaller frame. So lots and lots of scope with just using the background pages, and don't be afraid to cut into them and take elements from them, because you're always going to have scraps and things like that left over that you could make then things like clusters and what's the word, decorative edge strips and things like that. So the fact that I've cut that out, I've still got a lot of paper left that I can make other things, so it's not wasteful as such. I mean, it might have been wasteful if I'd cut straight through there, but yeah, if you're a bit careful how you go in and cut your pieces out, you probably find that you can actually get a lot out of that page anyway. So like that. And don't forget, you can always mix other things in with the background pages. So if you've got, you know, ephemera kits and things like that from other kits, you could still mix them in with the background pages. So you don't have to kind of limit yourself to, and I know this sounds like, oh, well, that's all pretty obvious, but I'm just making suggestions because sometimes it's easy to forget, really. And yeah, I mean, definitely I'm guilty of forgetting what I've got and things like that. And then I just lose my sense of creativity, if that makes sense. You know, what should be pretty obvious, I end up just, yeah, forgetting and thinking, oh, what, you know, what can I put with that? And actually, if you look through your bits, you've probably got bits of ephemera from other kits that you could use and would complement the background papers, or, you know, the 12 by 12 papers or whatever it is that you're using. So don't forget to go through your stash and see what have you got that you could pull in from other kits. And to be honest, although that may sound boring, and I'm terrible for not wanting to use things, you know, more than once, because I think, oh, boring, you know, I've used that before. But actually, the looks will be so incredibly different that you won't, not saying you won't notice, but you won't feel bored, because what you're making will look so different that actually you're going to feel like it's got a completely different feel to it. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Right, let's just take those out of the way. So what I have done here, I've taken some of the background page from the brown lace, and then I've just taken a piece from the shabby chic. Now it's just a very small portion here, just the offcut from that frame. And then what I'm going to do is I'll glue it on the bottom, and then I'm just going to tuck those corners around. So I'm going to glue it at the bottom first, just to hold it in place. So like that. Oops. Like that. Okay, right. Oops, in fact, I go over that way, I only have to cut one side down, so rather than have to trim both sides. So like that, okay? And then just spread that glue across there, like that. I have to be honest, I'm loving the look of this journal already, and we've only just started, but yeah, I just really love that craft paper as a page base. I don't think I've ever done that before, but it looks really lovely. So then just bend your corners round. Sorry, I've now got nail varnish on my page. Bend your corners round like that. Obviously what you can do is then trim them in. So this one's pretty big. Trim that down. And then I'm just going to mitre that as well. I mean, you don't have to do the mitre in, but that just helps with, you know, less bulk and things like that. So that then is a lovely pocket to put on that page. So just check that I've popped another glue down. I have, oops, take my Fabri-Tac and then glue these sides straight in like that. Okay, so we just glue the sides in like that. Okay, whoops. Right, glue them down. And then I'm just going to trim it up at the bottom just because I'm not sure I've got it very straight. Oh my goodness, I've made it more wonky than ever. Right, hopefully that looks okay. Might just trim it down slightly at the top because perhaps it's a bit on the tall side, but I mean, these things, there's no right or wrong. It's just play around until you get it looking the sort of size that you think looks right. So super easy pocket there that we've just made. Now I might put that on that page. Again, I'm not going to actually glue it in just in case I change my mind. So just going to leave that there. Right, now I've got this section here. So what I might do is cut this down and just make one of those kind of folded pockets. So all of these pockets and things that we're making here, we've made all of these in mass makes previously. None of them are kind of new ideas or anything like that. They're all things that we have made before, and they're all absolutely the world's easiest pockets. You know, we are not doing anything tricky here whatsoever. And I know I say this all the time, but let's face it, who wants to make complicated things? I mean, fair enough if you do want to, but I mean, personally, I just think, oh, life's complicated enough. Who wants to be making complicated craft projects? You know, not for me. But hey, I mean, if you do and that's your thing, then that's fantastic. It's not my thing. I like nice and straightforward. So right, I'm just going to trim this down because, as you can see, it's quite a big flap. And then just going to take this, fold this up here like that. Okay, and just straight down the bottom across there like that. Okie dokie. And then we just miter these corners. Now when I miter them, I just cut straight across, literally straight across at an angle, kind of touching the oh gosh, what would you call that, the corner, you know, where those folds meet, like that. Okay, and you should get pretty much, you know, a near on perfect miter. So that's just a really quick and easy way to miter those corners. I mean, that's the type of thing that I used to spend a long time trying to kind of, you know, cut them in neatly and all of that stuff. But actually, if you just do it like that, you probably will find you get more or less straight across the bottom, you know, which is what you want. Now, if you've got this situation at the top where you can, you know, maybe you can or maybe you can't see, you've just got a very little notch there that you can see. That's because I have not cut that paper straight. What you can do is just literally miter those corners. So very slightly, doesn't have to be a big amount. But if you just miter those slightly, then when you glue that down, you're not going to see those. So very quick tweaks, very quick fixes and things that you can do that will then just tidy your pieces up. So this one, I'm just going to, oh, should we glue it down? Should we glue it down? Yeah, let's glue it down in here. So again, just squish those down and yep, going to just glue this straight in. So let's just take that down. Actually, I'm not going to glue that in, and the reason being, I'm thinking I'm going to use one of my pearly buckles with a ribbon across. I will probably forget by the time that I come to decorate this pocket. I probably will forget that, but that's the plan at the moment. So then what you could do is pull in some of your softer pieces. Now these are I think it's 110 GSM that they are printed on. They are like a presentation paper, a smooth presentation paper. They're not as flimsy as photocopy paper. So they're a little bit thicker than that. But what you could then do is just make some sort of flippy pads and things that you could then enclose as well. Now, as you can see, I have not coffee dyed this at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take it down here. Like that. I'm going to make it pad size, you know, the pad kind of size that I want to use. And then I'm going to probably coffee dye, you know, maybe just the backs, to be perfectly honest. And then this would then be able to just be glued on, to a page as a little kind of, almost like a fabric tip-in, but of course it's not fabric, it's paper. So just super easy, super easy, another thing. Just squishing this down. So, and this is where it's really great to be able to then mix in your papers a little bit more. I printed these William Morris ones off. Obviously, these feel to me like they're a departure from the rest of the colours that we're using, so I don't think I'm going to use those. But I have got here some of my, oh no, I was going to say my new bird collection, but oh my goodness, look at what is going on the back. I obviously had not factored that in, so yeah, I've come unstuck straight away. Oh gosh, what's going on? That seems to be the situation for everything. Right, well, I've got these ones. So, yeah, I could use this. So, just going to fold this in like that. Okay. Just, yeah, take that down like that. So, we're just going to get a bit of a layer kind of effect going on. Do I want to have this? So I'm just going to take this section here. Oh gosh, I've torn right through that bird's face. Oh well, never mind. Oh, I best tear it off, otherwise we've got his little beak there, and that's a bit mean, isn't it, to just have that little beak there. Just a small portion of it showing. So yeah, I'm going to just take that down, yeah, probably like that. So yeah, just take that in roughly, you know, roughly that sort of size, so that we've got different size layers, basically, is what we're trying to do here. So when you put the pad together, then it's going to look interesting. So just take that down. So that's going to be probably my top layer, I would think, unless I'm going to put something on even smaller, but probably won't. So I probably just want to have one more sheet there, which, oh, I've got this from the damask papers, which, yeah, I could do that. Just because this is very crumpled, to be honest. So this one seems like it would be a good use of this paper. So just fold that in like that, okay? Okey-doke. Oh, my goodness. Oh! This doesn't want to tear because it's obviously already torn, you know, when it was printing. And, yeah, it's you know, where it's curly now, or wavy, it doesn't want to obviously quite tear how it could or how it should. So like that. Now I will probably just do those 4 sheets. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, you don't want to kind of necessarily bulk it out too much. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to take the top and just cut that down slightly. And then I'm just going to take it at the bottom and just tear that down slightly, so that our bottom page, which is the purple, you know, that dark purple damask, is visible. So like that, okay? And then I will just tear that down slightly as well, because otherwise it's the full height of the page. Not that that really matters, but I just, personal preference, probably would prefer it not to be the full height of the page. So like that, okay? And then I'm just going to coffee dye the back of those pages, and that will just glue onto that page, you know, as a sort of pad. Now, I will do that off camera in slow time, because otherwise I feel like, you know, this is a bit boring probably watching things like that. So that's that one. Now, again, then keeping with the theme, because I quite like it if you've used one paper to then use it somewhere else, it just ties it in. So what we could do now is just make a little kind of envelope envelope flip. So we'll just fold this in and, you know, bring the flap down. So like that. Now, obviously, if you want to have it that way, it's way too big. You could have it this way. I think what I will do is probably trim it down slightly anyway. So, oh my goodness, I am really not doing a good job of folding or cutting today. Right, let's just squish that down. Right, let me just trim this down like that. So, I mean, I don't necessarily want it to be this way round, but yeah, even if it's this way, I felt like it was a little bit big. So we can then put this, I like to not necessarily marry them up, but this is kind of in that first page, if you see what I mean. So having it a similar distance away, I find quite good. Doesn't have to be on the same page, but like here, this is kind of a couple of pages in. it feels uniformish to have that then, you know, far into the book, if you see what I mean. So you've got some of that paper here at the front and some of it at the back. And for me, that just feels like it balances it out slightly. Right, okay, so let's have a look and see what else we've got. You know, really just love to be able to use up papers that we've already cut into. So we've got here the brown, what's this called? The brown lace. Yep, we've got the brown lace one. So we might want to have some more of that. Now, where did I have that? We were going to have it on the middle, or in the middle. So yeah, I mean, something like here would be quite a good call, because the other place is, of course, we've got it here. So that feels like it's a good distance between, isn't it? Now, what do we want to make with that is the question. Let's just have a bit of a think. Again, I'm just being like really lazy, trying to think what I can make without having to coffee dye the back of it, which, I mean, how ridiculous. It's just silly, isn't it, that I'm being such a lazy person? But just, yeah, because I mean, I'm coffee dyeing these bits anyway. Right, let's just have a think. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just sat here now debating and thinking, oh, what might be good. So we've got that long pocket there, so I don't necessarily want to do anything, you know, because the obvious thing would be just cut it down and have another long pocket. But that's really boring, isn't it, to just have the same style piece. So yeah, I don't want to do that. Now let's just see what I could do. I mean, this does mean it's folded, which is a bit annoying, but yeah, I could do a you know, Matchbox kind of style book. So I'm just going to fold that in like that, and then we just bring this up here, and then we're going to obviously glue that down. Oops. And then this bit obviously tucks in to here. I've probably done that a little bit too, yeah, probably done that a little bit too much. So I might have to just trim that down. Obviously I need to trim this edge down as well, because it's you know, not looking great, is it? So yeah, oh my goodness, talking of not looking great, I mean, seriously, can you see my cutting? It is abysmal. Absolutely. Oh my goodness, it looks even worse from the front. I'm so sorry about this. I don't know what's going on with my cutting today. Okay, right. So yes, not a great job of cutting that. So I'm just going to take this in slightly across here, like that. Okay. And yeah, like that. Just so it's got a little bit more room for that to tuck into. Hopefully that's going to be, you know, big enough now. So I'm not going to glue that just yet, because I will need to coffee dye inside there. So yeah, not going to actually kind of glue that down. So we've got that one. Now I probably will switch these around and have that on that side. Yeah. Well, no, I might not. We'll see. We'll see when it comes to it. Or perhaps I need to have this further in. I mean, this is why it's quite good to sometimes not have glued your pieces in, because it just gives you the opportunity then to be able to move things around, should you need to. So, yeah. Maybe could get away with it here. If you have it on here where it's got a big curve, it just sometimes can compromise the operational workings, if you like. So yeah, I'd rather not do that if I could help it. So putting it further in, although this is still one of the curly pages, if you see what I mean, it's curved here, it's further in, so the curve is less. So I think that would be less of a worry. Right, so we might have that there, or actually I'm going to swap these around, I think. So I might have this one here, and then this flippy pad maybe have here. That just works better, I think, that way. So yep, that's that one. Just trying to think through other you know, folds and tucks and things like that we could have. So I've got some more of the shabby chic papers. Do I want to use those? Oops, got some more of this one. I mean, this is so pretty, isn't it? Shall we have one of those like little fold out pieces? Oh, I mean, yeah, this is thinner paper than I would normally use for making these types of things, but I think it's still fine. So I'm just going to take, whoops, nearly folded that in. Take this in like this. Okay, and I will trim this down because again, this is then full height of the page. And I'm not saying that necessarily matters, but it maybe does. So yeah, I'm just going to cut it down slightly here. So we'll just cut it down, I think, across here at the moment. We might come back and trim it down more. We'll just see how it goes. So, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. My cutting is so shocking today. I don't know what is wrong with me. Oh my goodness. And do you know, the more I hack at this, the worse it's looking. Oh well, never mind. I think probably this is because I haven't squished the edges down properly. So it's not sitting true, you know, true to its finished state. Oh gosh, is it now? I don't know. Oh my goodness. This is where I'll end up with like none left because I'll have had to trim it down and trim it down. There'll be none of it left. So we've got this one, and yeah, I will just then coffee dye the inside, and then what we could do, we could maybe even, you know, do like a little pocket in here. It would open up, there'll be a little pocket. We'll kind of play it by ear once I've coffee dyed it. I will probably do the coffee dyeing and then the gluing of the pockets in, and then we'll come back and we'll decorate some of them up using, you know, some of the other background pages. So yep, we've got that one. So I mean, we're doing pretty well. We've got quite a few little tucks and, you know, oh gosh, what are the words that I'm struggling to say? Quite a few bits that we've got already going on in here. So what else have I got? Oh, so I have got some of my doors collection, which, I mean, we've not had any of those. This is bringing in more papers. So I may want to intersperse this again, you know, more stuff again. Oh gosh, that's got stuff on the back. Or, you know, we could just have some of this, like maybe just stuck down onto the page for just interest. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit problematic that it's got this stuff on the back of it. So whatever I was thinking I might use it as probably is not going to work. We've got the vivid doors. Not sure about those. Right, let's just have a look and see what else I've got. What else have I got? Aha, right. I mean, these are not, yeah, they're not printed on the right thickness paper really for what I would have wanted to do with them. Got this one. I love this. Absolutely love this page. Oh, I would have, yeah, probably preferred that on thicker paper. Oh, I seem like I've not printed any of these bits on the appropriate papers now that I've come to use them, which is really annoying. What else have I got? Yeah, just having a bit of a flick through. What's that one? No. Oh, got some more. Yeah, some more of the damask type papers and things like that here. So we could use some more of these, only because this seems to have gone down a bit of a purple route, which, you know, not necessarily planned like that, but that just seems to be how it's gone. So it's probably now, I'm probably kind of committed to doing that. Now I have got this one actually from the Doors collection, which, yeah, definitely I would have had this on thicker paper. There's no doubt about that. But I am just wondering whether we could use this thinnish paper and just, if I cut this down. So this is the Fantasy Doors collection, and I've got the Fantasy Doors and I've got the Vibrant Doors. Now, I have done a video of the collection so far, although not now including the birds or the farmhouse in that. But I don't know whether that will go up before this video or after, because somebody else had asked for me to do a video showing all the collections in more detail. So yeah, definitely, if it's not gone up, there will be one soon. So please don't worry if you're thinking, oh, I'd like to see more. There will be a video coming, or it potentially has even gone up by this point. So I've cut around that sort of door knocker. But yeah, I'm thinking we could have this door possibly. Like I said, I would have really chosen to have it in thicker. Oh, I'm just going to cut that down kind of in line with... Yeah, I would have chosen to have this thicker really, but, you know, on thicker paper, but I didn't obviously know what I was going to be doing when I printed it. So, oh well, right. So, yeah, let's have that. Might have to take that flower down slightly more. Otherwise it's just a bit wide for the page. So there we go. A bit better. Yeah, like that, I think. And then we can put something underneath here. So I'm going to play around with those doors as well. And hopefully, you know, we'll get some really lovely looks for the doors. Now, I've also got a similar door. This is also the Fantasy Doors papers. So you've got a good variety of different doors that you can play with, but I'm thinking, oh, I've forgotten about this one actually, this in the sort of purples. So this would be actually perfect for, yeah, for this journal. So I'm going to just take this one down. This one's not got a door knocker. Let's just take that down there. Okay, just cut that down there. Yeah, love this one. It's got these kind of purples into the bricks, if you can see that. These are not printed borderless. I just didn't print these borderless. So I don't have to worry too much that it's too tall. And to be honest, I'm cutting a lot of it off anyway. So right, actually, I'm just going to go in slightly more. Okay. Oh my goodness, how lovely is that door? So yeah, love the brown door, love this, you know, this purple sort of door as well. Now I'm thinking actually maybe we might want this door maybe even in the center of here. I don't know. Oh, this is a very tough decision. Oh, I don't know. Maybe not on the centre page. So yeah, maybe on this page actually. Or maybe we should have it on one of the flat ones. Maybe that one. Okay, so yeah, maybe this one. So the doors, I do have a plan for those. So hopefully, yeah, we'll kind of look at the doors in the next video in a bit more detail. Right, let's have a look and see what else we would like to do. So I've got this here. Yeah, I mean, this looks pretty good sort of colour-wise, doesn't it? It's going quite nicely. Just seeing what else I've got here. I have got the, obviously, remaining of this. I mean, that's gorgeous, isn't it? But, yeah, might want to kind of tear these flowers out and use them somewhere along the line. I'm just wondering whether I want to have, whether I want to have like an envelope pocket or anything like that. Right, okay, I might stop there because I'm going to coffee dye the bits that I've got. I'm going to stick them in and then I'm going to sort of see where we're at. So I hope that you like the start of this. Hopefully it's given you a few ideas if you've bought the papers and you're not sure what to do. And I will definitely come back and we'll kind of decorate this up a bit more. And hopefully you'll see a bit more what else, you know, some other ideas of what else you could do. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And, yeah, thank you so much. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.